I'm Rajaram. I will give you a brief thumbnail sketch of my degrees and my professional experience before I go on to my talk. I came to the States in 1970 to do my master's from the South Dakota School of Mines, Rapid City, and then after a year moved on to Madison, Wisconsin for my PhD in rock mechanics, and then worked for 4 years out in Colorado, Idaho, Utah, chasing all those mines for oil shale, coal, uranium, and after that decided that is not much civilization that I want there or the culture that I want, so I moved to Minneapolis. Stayed 3 years with a geologic consultant, helping clients find properties, whatever they wanted, phosphate, gold, copper in different parts of the country, evaluating it for them, how much return on investment they can make. After that, moved to Chicago in '82 and got into high-level radioactive waste disposal. How do I dispose this highly, highly toxic radioactive waste, keep it away from the environment for 10,000 plus years? So found sites in Hanford, Washington, and Yucca Mountain, Nevada, where we could put it. Did some studies, how to create these openings in rock without creating too many fractures, through which these radionuclides can escape if it starts leaking. So then I saw it's big political football, and it wasn't going anywhere after 3 years of doing big studies. Then I started my own company called Midwest Engineers in '86 to focus on tunneling and civil work. And my crews did some big shafts and connecting structures for the Deep Tunnel project in Chicago from '86 to '91. And during that period, I said, the construction business dealing with the unions is a real headache. So I said I need some intellectual stimulation, so I went to law school at Kent in the evenings and got my law degree in 4 years. Got my law license, engineering license. I said, here I am going to solve all the problems of the world. But the lawyers in town thought differently, so I said, after 6 months of searching for something I could do in the law, I decided, no, I'm happier as an engineer. So I decided to keep my law degree and license in my back pocket and did engineering, and had an opportunity to open an office in New Delhi, India in '97 called Tetra Tech India. Grew that in the environmental business, water, wastewater, solid waste, drainage, and hazardous waste management, all that. Then 2002 decided I'll get more into site remediation of manufactured gas plant sites. Did that for a few years. And since 2006, I said enough of working for somebody, corporate America, full time, so I decided to be independent consultant. And recently, my friend from CCJM called me and said, I want to open an operation in India. You have the experience, help me. So I went last month, opened their office in New Delhi, and trying to work on smart cities, work that's coming up in India. They're going to select the first 20 smart cities, and then after that, few other more smart cities. And the U.S. is helping on 3 of the smart cities with U.S. funding. So I'm tracking those cities where I can work with U.S. government funding and help India. So that's a brief thumbnail what I've been doing. So what I'm going to talk today is how you approach life, so that whenever, in this 41 years, I've had ups and downs. And sometimes when I thought it was a down, it really was an up, if I put the right mind to it, my right attitude. And one thing I tell people, including my son-in-law who works for SpaceX, I'm stressed. My daughter is a lawyer. Oh, I'm stressed, Dad, I'm stressed. I said, what is stress? Why are you getting stressed? I define stress as when you feel you are alone and are worried about how things are going to turn out. Day to day, year to year, in the future, a few years from now. So I always tell people who say, I'm stressed, I can't take this, how could I handle this? I says, remember that you are a speck in this universe of several galaxies, okay? And it'll keep on going with or without you. So just do your best. Sleep well, get up the next day and do your best again. And everything will turn out okay. But if you think, oh my God, there is so much on my shoulders, if I don't do it, what will happen? The whole world will collapse. No, nothing is going to happen. It's going to keep on going. You do your best. As long as you've done your best, you can sleep well, you know, no guilt, no regrets, keep going. Attitude, I've said, the only attitude, although there are two things, positive and negative, if you really want to lead a good life, have a positive attitude. In anything you undertake, every day get up with a positive attitude. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to meet good people. Not get worried about, this person might bother me, that everybody is who they are. You can't change them. All you can do is adjust your knob here to, tune to the world and be happy. And have faith. And what is faith? Belief in yourself and a higher power that runs this universe. If you have that faith, that you believe you can do it, there's nothing like I can't. I mentor a lot of, you mentor students at the inner city. I can't do this, I can't do math, I said, please drop that word from your vocabulary, I cannot. Because if you set your mind to it, anything is possible. And there are examples of people who have done that. And I know some handicapped people who have done amazing things. Stephen Hawking, look at him and say, he came up with the theory of the black holes and everything, it's all here. So if you keep your body strong and your mind the right direction, anything is possible. You can lead a wonderful life and you can handle any adversity that comes your way. So with that preface, let me show you a few slides and then I want interaction after the presentation. Any questions of what you have experienced in life, and you can ask me any questions. Some quotes that have guided me. Change is constant. Learn to use it effectively and reach your goals. Can't say, oh my God, this change is happening. No, it's going to happen. Just use it effectively and keep your goal in mind, where you want to be, and do that. What is an obstacle? What you see when you lose sight of your goal in life. So then you create obstacles. You say, oh my God, I can't do this obstacle, that obstacle. And when there is faith and victory in mind, success can be gained. If the thoughts are weak, there is defeat. So every action you do starts with a thought. And with a positive thought, you do positive action and have a positive impact on yourself and your surroundings. Discipline yourself to work. Success and defeat come and go. Ignore them and persist. Because there are only two things that can happen. You can either succeed or fail. So if you fail, you learn and go to the next one. And we have examples of so many wonderful people in our history. Abe Lincoln, we always hear how he failed in his attempt to get into Congress. Kept trying. He got there, then he got to the president, and he was the greatest president we have from our state. So main thing is discipline, and you have to persist. If you do those things, nothing is impossible. What is adversity and how to handle it? Adversity is what happens when you build up expectations and they don't happen. It's all, again, as I said, starts between the 2 ears here in your brain. You just think, I did this, this is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, you say, oh my God, I did my part, it didn't happen. But you don't realize that you are one part. There's a team you're working with, there are external circumstances you're working with. All those things control what the final result is. What is in your hands is to do your best. Work with your team as best as you can, and results will come. If they don't come today, they'll come a week from now or a year from now. But you don't try to dictate the timing of the result. That's when you get all tied up in knots and unhappy. If you live in the moment and do not dwell on the past or worry about the future, you can handle anything life throws at you. Okay? What you have, like, why do we say it's a present? It is a present or it's a gift from God. This particular moment you have, use it fully. You can't worry about the past, it's gone. You can't do anything about it. All you can do is learn from it. Future, God only knows. Every moment things are changing, and you can just be prepared with the right attitude and with the right preparation, training, whatever you can to do what you are doing. Being prepared, being positive, being grateful, maintaining good health, and having friends are what it takes to handle adversity. Huh? Liquor? That's what I call a temporary bandage. When people go and drink, my wife is a physician. She comes after a stressful day with patients in 3 different hospitals she's seeing, all kinds of major issues with family, with her patient, and she hasn't touched a drop of liquor in her whole life. She's allergic. And she just comes a little bit of, oh, my shoulder's hurting. I massage her for 5 minutes. Done. She is perked up, ready for the evening. That's all it takes. All this chemical dependence, is something we think it is required for social interaction. No. All you need to social interaction is be kind, good words, and wonderful things happen to you. If you show kindness in your. And being grateful, that is one thing many of us, when we think, oh my God, this is not happening to me, I don't have this. I tell people we are the luckiest people in the world. 95% of the world is not as affluent or have the tools that we have to work with our life. And so I belong to the Lions Club, and there we have Lions chapters in 210 countries. The projects I read about and how people are serving others selflessly. That is what you do. You're grateful that you have an opportunity to serve others. That is being another gratefulness. So if you do those things, you will not have time to brood over anything. Anything comes, you say, okay, I handle it. If I need some help, a different perspective, I call a friend, call a family member, get some inputs, and then do your best. How to handle adversity. Adapt to circumstances and set priorities. Priorities, I learned it a little bit late when I was running my company, doing all these shafts. I used to get all, I got this thing, that thing to do, and I didn't take care of my health. And I got just a reminder how to take care of my health. Since then, I said, I don't start my day without half an hour of exercise, without eating a good breakfast. Then I can handle anything and eat a light lunch, eat a light dinner. And be aware of what you're putting in your body. You are what you put in your body, what you put in your mind. So if you put good things in your body, which you all know, but these temptations, all these come. Again, discipline, the D word. My daughter tells me, Dad, it's so hard. I said, yeah, the D word, got to develop more discipline, and then you can handle anything. So put the right things in your mind, right things in your body, so you'll have good health, family and friends. Don't neglect them, thinking work and career is going to solve everything. No, work and career have their place, but there comes number 3. Be positive and learn from mentors. And be grateful for the mentors you have. Instead of saying, I did everything. No, you had mentors, people taught you, people guided you. And the third one is so important, be a networker and build a large Rolodex. Many engineers get involved in their work. Technically, they're solving things, that. and say, that's it, I've done my job. For a while I used to be that way. I started my career, but I learned soon that unless you network, and I'll tell you some stories after this, how a couple of adversity things, being a networker and having a Rolodex, just helped me bounce right back without any break. Help others in need and they will help you when you need them. Life is all give and take. People keep on taking, they'll see one day nobody wants to be near them. So give and take. So be a giving person, then others will come and give it to you when you need it. So my experience over 40 plus years. So before this, I'll tell you, when I was getting into engineering, I finished my high school when I was 13. One of those nerds who just studied and got double promotion and all that. And at age 14, I was done with my 12th grade. And I said, I got to get into engineering. I did my exams. I didn't get the marks that I thought that I was required to get into engineering in India. I was fretting and fuming about it. My elder brother came, about 7 years older than me. He says, Raj, how old are you? I said, I'm 14. Do you know what it takes to, what is the minimum age for getting to engineering in India? I said, 16. So why are you worried now? You've got 2 more years. Do something with your life and apply. You never know 2 years from now what the world is going to be. What, engineering college will accept you. You don't know. Why are you worried about it right now? Thinking these marks are not enough to. I said, okay, that's a good advice. I got involved, joined the ROTC in college, went into Bachelor of Science, Math, Physics, Geology I was doing. After 2 years, I'd gotten some of the good certificates they give for being good in ROTC and good in studies. Just applied. When I was 16, they said, oh, we have a category for people who have done well in ROTC along with the marks you have. That added, you are admitted to engineering. Come on over. That's it. And I got into engineering and gave me a scholarship. And here I am today. So I was going along with my career till 1981. So they said, I was in Minneapolis. They said, come to Vancouver, British Columbia. I said, oh my God, what a beautiful place to go. I went in August. Flowers everywhere, the mountains, the ocean, greenery everywhere. I said, God's place on earth here. I have an opportunity to work out of here. And then I realized after this, not everything good is not good in life. And after November comes, there's rain comes, and it's cloudy days for days together. My wife said, no, I can't take it. I need sunshine. So we moved out. But they were going to move me to Denver. I had lived previously in Colorado, and I know 320 plus days of sunshine. So, but they said, oh, the economy has changed. The mining industry has gone totally down the toilet, and we have to close our office in Denver. Either you become a landed immigrant in Canada and continue with us, or here is 2 months' salary and you're on your own. So I said, oh, is that the case? I found out in 6 months in Canada that how bureaucratic they are, worse bureaucracy than I faced in India. So I said, I don't want to be this bureaucratic setup here. I want to go back to States. My wife was ready to start her practice in the US. So first week, I said, hey, what do I do? They told me this happened. I made a few phone calls, and I called my friend in Chicago. He says, Raj, what a timely call, because exactly we've won a project. We were saying, we need a person like you. We were scratching our heads where to get. Here you call me. When can you come for interview? So I went, talked to the owner. He says, when can you start? The middle of winter. I drove in January all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia to Chicago. Landed here on February 1. So, and then started a career in high-level radioactive waste. So, this is what it takes, because I was active in my professional society. I knew people, and I called one of them, called a few, this person, the right time, right place. He says, come on over, and the rest is history. So then when I joined this firm, this small firm of about 12 to 15 people, I was made head of the mining group, and they had a other minor civil engineering group. So this owner was an Indian. He says, Raj, I want you to be partner, this, that. After 3 years, I worked hard for him, took care of business when he was gone for a month. And I was thinking, he's come back from this vacation after a month. He's going to offer me partnership. Then he says, Raj, I don't see chemistry, and I don't think. I said, okay, thank you. I got the message. So I just gave my resignation, started my own consulting, and started my own firm. A few months after that, in '86, I registered my firm as Midwest Engineers. And I had wonderful opportunities to do a deep tunnel project. I had my own construction experience, had a chance to go to law school. And so this is what sometimes you expect things, they don't happen. You just go down and say, oh my God, why did it happen to me? Why me? All that stuff. I just said, you don't want me? Fine. Here is my resignation. I was working on some projects. He needed me. I said, I'll be a consultant to you at so-and-so rate on these projects till they are done. And meanwhile, I started my own and had a wonderful time, from engineer to a contractor to doing heavy construction. I learned so many things, and my life turned around. So 1991, I was telling you about my law degree. That one time I really, because for 4 years I've slaved myself running my company from 7 to 4, going to law school at 4:30, paying the fees because I could write off from my company. First time I paid fees to go to school because my undergraduate, graduate work was all paid by scholarships. First time I paid to go to Kent, I said, I've done this. The world needs to give me a job in this field. I told people I need environmental law, energy law, because that's the program at Kent, and construction law. I'd done a lot of construction projects. But after a few months of soul searching, and said, really, these people aren't giving me a straight answer. And then I just said, okay, this is what it says. I want to go to engineering. I had an offer from an engineering firm. I took that, and the law degree helped me tremendously in starting my company in India. It's a large company. They said, oh, joint venture, we don't know how it will work. I said, I am a lawyer. I've taken our company's interest in mind in drafting this with our partner in India. Let's do it. And my corporate attorney says, yeah, fellow attorney, I'll do you a favor. Quickly gave me some comments. I fixed it. The company was formed, and I had a great time building up an operation, hiring a lot of people, and training a lot of young engineers. So after all that, in 2005, I joined an engineering company. I knew the guy there. He just called him, come on over. Just 5 minutes from my home. I went in Downers Grove. And out of the blue, this guy calls and says, I don't like how you do marketing. I want you out. I said, oh, what? And I said, oh. I went to my legal, oh, yeah, it is at will employment. He doesn't want me, so fine. So for 2-3 days, it says, hey, I was doing so much work, mentoring so many people, doing all these things. Why is he doing it? But hey, he doesn't like me. He doesn't have chemistry with me. Fine. So that's when it opened a whole new life for me. I just said, let me be an independent consultant, do things that I really want to do at my own pace. And I had a lot of interest. I had started a nonprofit in 2004 called India Development Coalition of America. How to put like-minded people together to work on rural sustainable development in India. That is doing extremely well now. I have met so many wonderful people, every corner of India, who are doing great work. They call themselves non-governmental organizations. I have friends in NGOs all over India and have done such things that make me feel happy inside that I could do it. So all this started because this happened. I could just check it off and say, move on to things that I want to do in life. So since then, the amount of community involvement through the Lions Club here, alumni involvement in IIT, all that I had time to do because I decided I'll be a part-time engineer. One of my friends called me and says, help me on this big project at O'Hare. I said, I do it only 3 days a week. 2 days is my time to do things that I want to do in life, which make me happy, which I can influence others and help others. I've been able to do that because of that. So conclusions, you never know what life has in store for you. So accept each day as a gift from God, possibilities and opportunities. Because, for example, when I started my India operation, I just was flying to India for some personal visiting, and he says, I'm managing director of a big contracting company in Delhi. I said, what do you do? He says, for all the 15 major power plants, thermal power plants in India, we have done the coal handling systems, we have done the fuel handling, we have done the fire safety. And now these power plants are wanting to improve their water management systems because they have to comply with the discharge laws of India, and also they want to recycle the water through their boilers. And I know the client extremely well for the last 15 years, but I don't have the experience in water, so I'm wondering what to do. There's some big projects are coming up in the next year. So I said, today is your lucky day, because I work for a company in Chicago that has done big water plants. We built the plant at the Curie wastewater treatment plant. We did the design and with the construction manager. In Battle Creek, Michigan, our company had done that. So it was a World Bank funded project. So partnered with him, put the first project together, because he knew the client well and we had the experience. We won the project. And my boss in Chicago, the president of the company, says, amazed, you wanted a year or two to set up the India operations. In 6 months, you put your first bid and you got it. I said, again, I could have dropped after the conversation and said, but he said, let's follow. I stayed there only for a week. He came and met me, and then he lost touch with me when he contacted me again, took advantage of the opportunity. So opportunities come to you. It's up to you how to grab them and make something out of it and do something new and wonderful. And the experience of doing these projects in India has given me so much confidence I can handle anything that has to be done, put the right team together and get it done. So once you do that, you get what you want to do. Pay attention to your health, eat right, exercise, entertain only positive thoughts. Spend time with family and friends. Do your best every day and leave the rest to God, who runs this universe. So that is my summary of how I have lived my life and all the ups and downs that come. I have handled it. And I'd like to hear, many of you might have some stories as to how you have done it, or my approach, if you think why I took it and what you have done. Let's have a good discussion. Question answers.
You seem to have upset these people pretty decisively on a regular basis.
Who?
Just that, you walk in and it's like, you're out today. I've heard that story.
Oh, yeah. That happens in America all the time. And that is one thing that I have been working in India either as a business or as a non-profit organization helping people. There, the human warmth and touch is there. That is number one compared to the money. Now, here, because the business of America is business, like Hoover said, I think our president, we just think everything in terms of business and what's in it for me kind of a thing. But if you get to know people and enjoy them, like these people I hired in India during time I started in 97 to when I left it in 2002, whenever I went 2-3 times a year, I used to go for meetings, meet the staff and all, they would all come with great respect. We are here because of you. I say, no. You are here because you're doing a good job, okay? So don't give me all the credit. You deserve the credit. You're part of a team. You're doing it together. But the kind of respect, the warmth that people would give me there, that stays with me. And one person who, in 94, when I formed the joint venture, a young engineer was given to me to mentor. He's now like my younger brother. Anything I want, whenever I go, I have several relatives in Delhi. But he says, he insists I have to stay with him. and his kids are so close to me, that is the kind of thing. I can call him anytime and say, Satyesh, get this done for me. Done. No questions asked. Because he learned so much from me, he respects me, and so here, that one thing, here also you'll find some good people like that, but majority of the big companies, especially corporate America, there's no rhyme or reason. They'll say, we don't like you today. Or reduction in force, we are cutting X number of people. Hey, aren't there other options to do instead of just affecting people like that in a major way? People don't think that way. But the only way then to live is take control of yourself, of your life, and say, that is fine. I've got a zillion options, especially in big cities. You just change business cards, find somebody else. If one company is doing well, other companies are doing well. So, but you adjust, but don't let that affect your mental, physical, any aspect of you. Any other stories you have to share, Joe?
I was invited to a nonprofit group meeting.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what do you think about that? Would you be interested? Yeah, I probably would, So I didn't go to the next meeting. They voted me in as secretary. And it's hard to get out. Not that I'm trying. So I host a support group. It's for a group, and it's very fulfilling.
Yeah,
Things are
absolutely.
fine. And my wife is like, we like to do this, and well, I'm on the calendar. I got 6 of these per year and 6 of these per year.
Yeah.
I'm glad to work around it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Those are fine, and career's been great.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that I should stay working for a little while longer, and intend to.
Yeah.
So
As long as the mind and body are strong, and as long as you don't devote 100% to that, but other things like the non-profit work you're doing, which is very satisfying. For example, in 2010, I was just called by my friend in Dallas and said, Raj, this non-profit called Pratham in India, they are huge organization all over India, educating the poorest kids in the slums and in rural India. And they had a guy handling the Chicago chapter. Out of the blue, he said, I got too busy, I can't do it. And they had invited a celebrity from India to come. And they had set a date for their annual fundraising gala. And 2 months before that, this guy who was handling things, he said, I can't do it. He quits. So this friend pleads with me, says, Raj, if you don't do it, we look terrible. And we don't collect any money for our organization. So I said, let me do my salesman job on my wife. I convinced her that this is a very important cause for me, education of the poorest kids. So I'll take some weekends away from you. I will, some weekday evenings for some meetings or phone calls. So I convinced her. She said, fine. And I told her, I'll do this. Then I did a little bit more. She says, you told me this. I said, no. It demands I got to do. So over 5 years, I couldn't believe myself. I could raise $900,000 from people in Chicago for this cause. And I've learned so much. Now I can be an effective fundraiser for any organization. Because how to talk about the cause, how to appeal to people's hearts and have them give. So I learned. So every day is a new learning experience. So if you look at life that way, it is a real blessing that you have, and as long as you stay healthy, you can handle anything.
It's interesting for me to listen to you tonight. I have a sense that I'm at a crossroads. And my story is I started in engineering and worked in the computer and telecommunications industry, was at Lucent, and that went out the tubes, of course. Decided to do something else and went to business school. And pounded the pavement long and hard and finally landed a job in finance. And I've been at this for 4 years now. And it's a very small firm. We're based in St. Charles. In any given day, there are 6 or 7 of us in the office full time, and a number of maybe 3 or 4 other people who work part time. I feel very isolated. I have absolutely maxed the job out. I can do it in my sleep at this point. And it just feels like it's time to move on. And I can see listening to you tonight that I've been, and for me, you talk about the role of the God word. I'm amazed to come into something that's this civil, social, and to hear somebody talk about religion in a generalized way, and yet I can
anybody
see,
is running this universe.
right,
It could be call him anything.
it's
You
the Lord,
call
right,
her.
exactly, and having the place where I can see it's working in my life is I've been kind of making these progression of stages, and part of it's me and part of it's getting out and interacting with other people. And one of the downsides I have right now, I mean, it's wonderful. I have a 20-minute commute to the office instead of the 2-hour hard charge into Chicago.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you get something and you give something up, is what I've discovered.
Absolutely.
And right now, I just, have a feeling that, I feel like I'm suffocating is the right word for it.
Again, find something else to do where you're
Just right.
sharing your knowledge. For example, I'll tell you the organizations I'm involved in with Literacy DuPage. I go volunteer once a week to a Chinese student who is trying to get adjusted to life in America. Upwardly Global. It's an organization that helps immigrants find jobs. I do mock interviews for them. I do resume writing workshops for them. Lions Club. Through that, I've done projects in India, projects in my neighborhood, feeding the hungry, going out there. From IIT, Alumni Association, since '99, when they asked me to come and raise some funds for international student scholarship, got involved with both feet. 16 years having the time of my life. And right now I'm planning a global gathering of our alumni in Paris for next year. So tomorrow I'm going for a lunch where few of the alumni from Paris, France are saying, we'll form an alumni association. You tell us how to do it. We'll do a global gathering of alumni there. In 2014, I had no clue how I would do it, but I put first global gathering of IIT alumni in Chicago. Got people from Asia to come, all over US to come, 320 people, along with the homecoming, so we had about 800 people, but wonderful. So these things, sometimes you don't know what you can do till you get into it. And
I do things through my church. IIT, we have a student-run equity investment firm at Stewart that manages about $500,000 of endowment capital for the university. And I'm involved with that. I have done, kind of pro bono management consulting through Tapper Foundation. Fantastic. Right now, that's actually a 6-month commitment, and that's more than I can handle right now. But I know that part of this is on, I'll call it the more personal and social side of my life, but there needs to be a professional component. And like you, I'm not ready to pack it in just yet.
No, like what I do
out there and I need to be
3 days a week I do. I put my other things around my work now. Since I don't have to work full time, show up 40 hours, nothing. I do that, I can just do that evenings or during day, I can do all that stuff. I can interact with people, but still the non-profits I've taken on, I am not going to spend any less time there because those are so satisfying. And when you look at it, when people say, oh, my estate is only this many million, or worried about the Wall Street gyrations, I say, my God, is Wall Street gyration affecting you today? Your day-to-day life? No, but it might. You don't know what the world will be in 5 years from now or 2 years from now. Why are you worried about Wall Street gyrations happening? One day it goes up. So again, how much money do you need to live comfortably? One of my friends very succinctly said that in 2003. He came to me. He says, Raj, I had a company. I sold it. One Canadian firm wanted it. They gave me $2 million. I put it in the bank. Now I can live comfortably. I don't need to work a day in my life. And I am going to use my time now to help people in rural India. He asked me for my help. I mobilized a few other people for him. And he's got 2 kids who are still in college. He doesn't worry. He says, hey, they have to live within these means. Okay, we have a house. We've got everything set. I can live comfortably. I don't have to go for my next million or next million. No. So again, once you plan something, I'm writing a book now, which will be done by end of this year, called Golden Giving, How to Spend the Best Years of Your Retirement. first chapter, my friend and I are writing how to take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Once you have done that, what you can do within the country, the number of organizations you can volunteer for, and what you can do globally.
How our cup is so half full instead of half empty. And at the stage you are in your life, and the stage I'm probably at a similar stage, for us to be a woman in this country at this time
It's incredible.
is incredible.
Yes, incredible.
I wouldn't want to be a woman
Yes.
at any age in any other
Yes,
country
exactly.
and most of the world right
Yeah.
now. So you're worried about your initiative or skills atrophying, right?
No, I'm not worried, I'm not worried at all.
I mean, you're.
I
you
know
need
I
to do more.
need to move, it's time to make a change.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Yeah.
And now it's just, okay, I've got to walk out there.
Keep your eyes and ears open if
Find
something
it,
comes
yeah,
up.
exactly.
And you don't want to kill yourself, like you said, going downtown, commuting.
Right, right, well, I don't know, I mean, that might be
But
the answer.
There's an interest, I did something interesting recently, and I volunteer in a rapid prototyping manufacturing incubator called Catalyze Chicago. Now they're downtown, okay?
Mhm.
So they do all kinds of first batch, okay? So they'll bring any
Okay.
product to first batch. So I've got the same engineering background and also went to business school. And I'm relaunching it into investment banking. So in the meantime, I went to this incubator and I volunteered my services, thinking, what can I do for you? They've got, and so I'm writing operational manuals, I'm recruiting people to teach classes, et cetera, et cetera. There's one out here, as a matter of fact, is it in Lisle? There's another manufacturing incubator out here in the western suburbs that would, you have a very unique skill set that they would gobble up. Okay, obviously they gobble it up pro bono. Right.
Any lead is a good lead.
Right, it's just it's an idea, it's one thing I did to
Absolutely,
keep
that's
from
what
going
you.
absolutely
So many things
insane,
happening.
right?
You hear from each other, and
I'll send you
Right,
the information
okay.
on them,
Do
it's
you have
out
a
here in the
card?
birds, yeah, I do,
Okay.
I do. But it keeps me, and being around, folks that are bringing their dreams to fruition is invigorating,
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely invigorating. Now, we have to be careful because they'll suck you dry if they
Oh,
have the
right,
opportunity
right,
to.
right.
They'll suck
you don't let
but
people
being
take advantage
around
of you, but you give.
young teams of people bringing their products to fruition, young engineers that are working on cutting edge technology with all of the equipment and all of the machinery. So in this incubator where I volunteer, they've got every kind of metal stamping, CNC, every kind of 3D printer you'd ever want, and all of the different modeling software from the Pro E to the more sophisticated CADs, and the incubator environment surrounds itself with pro bono professionals in packaging, supply chain, legal, fundraising, insurance, HR. So that they have professionals that they bring in under all these different umbrellas to talk to these young teams of entrepreneurs. And you network and you learn from all of them. And I'm doing it not just because I like to be in that environment, but by me recruiting professionals to teach classes for them, I get to talk to people that nobody's going to pick up the phone and let me say, hi, I'm 52 and unemployed. Can you talk to me? They're just not going to do it. But if you call and you say, I'm volunteering for XYZ and I'm trying to put together, I've got a roster of 52 classes I got to put together, and I'm wondering if you might be a great candidate to teach one of them or develop some coursework with us. And you start having all these conversations with people that would never otherwise answer the phone. And so now, from all different walks of life, you get to, I've talked to presidents of publicly traded corporations, I've talked to treasurers of publicly traded corporations. So when you're calling them to say, will you come teach a class, people will pick up the phone, and it's very cool. Very, very cool. And I couldn't call them for any other reason.
Well, I've done pro bono consulting through Taproot Foundation. And Taproot got its start in San Francisco back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And Aaron Hurst is the gentleman who started this. And his observation was nonprofits need, professional quality management consulting some of the time, and it's hard for them to get it.
Right.
And as a result, his idea was to have professionals do this part-time pro bono.
That's what they do, right?
And basically, I think he got a start, I think it was either in marketing or web-based.
Mhm.
And eventually it grew out, and they developed a consultancy in strategic management and finance, and I contributed to that,
Fun.
which is where my
Fun.
business background is.
What kind of engineering was your specialty?
Electrical engineering and
Electrical.
computer science.
Girl, they would gobble you up at one of these incubators. They would love you.
So,
Look,
you know,
pulling us right out of there.
let me, you know, if you want, maybe we can go for coffee or
Right,
something
and
and
I'll
learn some
ping
more
up.
about this.
See, this is the kind of
Bring you this
minds and work I
This
love.
is,
Yeah.
this is, did you go to B school?
I did,
Where did you go?
my MBA is from Texas A&M, and I've got a MSc from UC Denver and global energy management, and I've got a master's from IIT as well, and industrial-
Learning never stops, right? Every day you learn.
Right,
College
right,
are hard
right.
knocks.
I got to go for a dinner in St. Charles here,
Thank you.
so I appreciate all of you coming and
Thank you.
listening. Thank you.
What was the impetus for doing this?
Which one?
This